Action. You made the sound of one of
I'd
those,
like some what's in his basket.
What the fuck?
What the hell is happening?
Guys, you can't tell me that chat and everybody who's watching this right now isn't gonna be complimenting Jonathan's hair.
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I gotta say,
It's pretty good.
I have great taste in hair.
From a completely unbiased perspective, it's pretty good.
What it do?
Hey, Papa Kush. Welcome to the stream. We're all having a great time here. We're about to not be, because we're about to jump into a low fantasy world where I'm going to kill everyone.
Blackrot.
No, don't say
Other
that.
than that, we're having a great time.
I expect to die in our first combat. Because we haven't had one yet.
That's good. I'm glad that your expectations are set perfectly on the game.
Of course.
I'm gonna do my best to not die. How about that?
You're trying too hard.
You got Dimension Door. You got. Any teleportation spells?
I got fog. I got fog cloud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got shield.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Go
know,
on.
that's it.
Oh, well. Good luck.
Thanks. I got a quarterstaff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I have a better chance to hit things with my staff than a spell, so that's what kind of wizard I am.
I can't
That's what
say.
kind of wizard I am.
Can't say you got the best of chances, but I'm not gonna bet against you. You know.
Thanks.
Ooh, what a bunch of burly men.
I'm not gonna bet against you.
So I've been sick for a very long time. That's been my time off since the last time we played. How have you guys been?
Maymays?
Maymays?
I've been magical. I have been
Beautiful Maymays.
absolutely magical.
You've been
Bageling it up. Yeah, that's
Dark Souls in.
He is our bagel boy.
I am the bagel boy extraordinaire.
Did you pick up Dark Souls the last time we played?
I'm sorry?
I think you just had started playing Dark Souls the last time we played Blackrot.
And
Yes. Now you're fully entrenched.
Now I'm. Oh my god. Well,
That's
now
an accurate description.
I think I'm like 2/3 through the game at this point. No, I think I'm halfway, maybe. Which is ridiculous because I've already put like 20, 25 hours into it, which is stupid. And yet, so worth it. So, eternal suffering, fun time. Those describe Dark Souls pretty well.
Yeah, it sounds like you're playing the game like you're supposed to.
Nothing. You've been doing anything particularly interesting?
No, not particularly. I had a couple.
No, my life
I'm
is
boring.
is a empty hole of studying and.
No, like my life's been pretty awesome recently, but it's because like I don't know, I'm staying on top of my game, not letting things get to me, that type of thing.
Wow,
but like nothing over the top exciting has happened.
Staying on top of my game. I'm not going to try to rhyme that now.
Me and
please,
Jonathan
go
were
on.
Like
I'm waiting.
watching, like, please, Trepper, you as the least white person on the
I
stream.
make poetry,
the
not
most white
rap,
person on the
okay?
stream,
Get out of my house.
Please. Rap can be poetry.
I know
You're
it
just
can.
Not very good at it.
I know.
Savage.
No, Tripper knows. Tripper accepts. I believe in
Sometimes.
him. But yeah, if you guys are ready in chat and in the Skype call,
I want to play. I want to play a game.
then I'm
Is
able
ready
jump
to
in.
play.
Is ready to play. Okay, then let's switch up the music and let's jump into this. So, we are going to open on the shot of the gates of Thetch, these large log gates being pulled open in the swirling white snow, which is hurtling through the air. These chained cages at its top, filled with these stacks of wood and refuse and things that are ever burning somehow through the runes emblazoned across them. Their divine protection maintaining their heat in spite of the wind and harsh elements. The gates are slowly pulled open and we see 4 shapes coming forwards out of the snow. 3 humanoid and 1 dog-like. As soon as the gates are wide open, the dog starts marching out into the snow, lowering its head and sniffing around, looking for something. We see its fur is this sort of grey-white, like a wolf, but its face is a little bit kinder, more like a husky, probably. It raises its head into the air and looks around. And then its head darts left, as if it's seen something, and begins bounding off a few inches into the few inches of depths of snow. Back by the three other shapes, the three men, Bjart looks over at you. She was brought to Thetch by the wild man. She should be able to smell her way home. And then he lowers his head against the wind and begins treading off into the snow after the husky, pulling his scarf up around him. And yeah, they're just heading off through the snow, crunching through a few inches. And you guys take a deep breath and get ready to journey out into the sort of vaguely fog-like snow and icy weather once again. Knowing the last time you did, you encountered some not very nice thing in the sky and a strange wolf being. Though I don't think you guys... No, only Jonathan saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just as a aside, my familiar's pocketed away.
Oh, cool. You got him in your dimension.
Yeah.
That's good, because not super great in the elements, but he's still he can handle himself for periods of time.
Yeah.
Or she. But yeah. They. There you go, gender neutral. Z. Are there any... Is there anything you guys like to do, or would you like to just keep following Bjart? It's about halfway into the afternoon, since you spent the morning doing some adventures with your good friend Bertram.
For me, not particularly. This is why I came to the town in the first place, so I'm just getting business done.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So you guys follow, matching Bjart's step as he sort of follows the wolf behind the husky from behind, which I will...
I did think of one thing. We were asked to keep an eye out for frosted whiteleaf for the alchemist.
Okay. Yeah.
So I keep an eye out for that.
Cool. I'll have you make perception checks when appropriate.
Cool.
They're level 2 now, Hollowman. Sorry, we didn't have time to update the overlays since we've been very busy. But the only thing that's gone up is their health, so... But I will show you guys the wolf. The husky, sorry. There you go.
Ah, it's adorable.
I know. There you go. Now you relate to the animal, so when it dies, you'll inevitably feel this sad.
Wow. Spoiler alert.
So, you guys continue until you start seeing out of the sort of limited visibility that the storm sort of provides. You begin seeing the woods in the distance that stretch high into the sky after maybe half an hour to an hour of walking. The sort of evergreen pines that tower like daggers out of the snow. Almost set out of the sand. They act like shields against the wind, actually, and as you get closer and closer, you notice the wind is diminishing. And around the edges of them, it doesn't look like they're snow-capped at all along the leaves, because the wind seems to shake free any snow that would usually rest there, exposing the sort of green pine needles at the edge of the wood where the wind hits into it. We'll push through here for a time. We'll arrive at the clearing he uses.
Right.
Sure.
We are fortunate. The woods are still. And Bjart, continues on, heading in, disappearing into in between the trees.
Are they usually moving?
No. Just come along.
You made it sound like they were...
Yeah, now, as we're walking, I'm just using my quarterstaff kind of as a walking cane.
Yeah, that's nice. Occasionally, bumps into a root, and you step over it easily.
Yeah.
You listen out as you're traveling into the actual wood itself, and you hear, other than the muffled whistling sound of wind coming from outside and the sort of comforting rustle of branches that are moved by it, there isn't much other sound. And after a little while of moving, Bjart has stopped and is looking up. He extends one long arm, being a Goliath, and points upwards. That's not right. And you see, as he points up, there's an owl, which just flutters its wings and takes flight as he was pointing towards it.
The owl?
He nods.
Yeah, I just look at my hand, see fire start to raise from it, and I just want to firebolt it.
Okay.
And
Wow!
Let's see how that goes.
Okay. Roll the damage.
Big ol' 8.
That will kill the owl. Nice. So you extend a hand. You like fire starts flickering from your fingers as you look up. Bjart's head like whips around, confused at you, as this bolt goes slamming into the owl. As you hear this sort of squeak of pain and desperation, tumbling to the ground. Its like body and wings easily catching a flame.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
Yeah, I kind of just I snap my fingers and like my bird appears with me, and I thought it could have been like this, except
It's just day.
a wizard.
There's an owl awake in the day.
Oh. Yeah, and I just kind of pull my hood up and just keep walking.
If I go over to the owl, is it partially cooked?
Not really. Cooked very evenly, at least.
That's fine by me. I'm just gonna pick up the owl and like supper. I'm just gonna start ripping away tufts of feathers.
No,
as
so
we're walking.
you're just like doing that while walking.
Yeah.
No one would assume it, but I'm the
survival
hunter.
Just to see
It's not
how
too
well
bad.
You can get that done. Yeah.
10.
Got a 10? Nice. Yeah. So you'll probably get it done by the time you get back to the town.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
It's a snack.
You'd imagine someone more expertise might be able to get it done in like half an hour, but you're sort of like you're struggling with some of the things without ruining the meat.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Okay, cool.
Something I'm doing.
You're okay. You're okay doing it a bit more rough.
Yeah,
Nice.
certainly.
So you continue on journeying. Owl homicide aside. But as you follow Bjart, you slowly start seeing, as you continue on and on and on, after maybe an hour of journeying through the woods. And journeying through the woods is a lot more of a pleasant experience than journeying just through the open plains and snow. To the degree where it's probably likely that you went the quickest route to the woods and then took a less optimal route as opposed to just walking straight there, just for the ease and comfort of it. But you begin to see, as you follow Bjart, you begin to see a clearing start to form in the distance through the trees. It slowly becomes more and more visible as you push through. As you eventually get a decent vision of the clearing, you see that there is a large felled tree that rests at its side, moss slowly eating away at the bark. This tree's trunk is significantly thicker than the ones around it. There are a few thinner looking trunks nearby that have also fallen down, or the base of them has just been cut off, suggesting that this large tree falling down brought a few others with it, which is the thing that formed the clearing. In the center of the open space, there is a small fire with a set of X-looking cross sticks holding aloft a spit, where instead of any spit roast or like anything, any kill or hunt would be resting. There's just a large sort of bear-like overcoat resting over it, warming, getting rid of... It's slowly dripping water from its furs. Next to the fire, there's a flat slab of stone that has a series of nicely carved and uncooked meats that lie on it in strips, ready to be cooked. And you see a man sitting to one side of the clearing, keening an axe's edge with a whetstone. His upper torso is bare, exposing a scarred and muscular body, which is rare in these conditions. It seems worn from weather and age in the wild, so has various scars and marks of just looking like animals. Some others probably just like like a fool in the wilds, that sort of thing. His lower body is dressed warmly in furs and thick boots, and his arms are adorned with 3 iron rings, 2 on the left and 1 on the right. He doesn't glance up at your approach to the clearing, and is just slowly keening the axe. I will show you guys a picture.
No.
All right.
He slowly puts the axe down against the rock that he's sitting on, and he turns his back to you and begins reaching for a sharpened stick and flint spear that's leaning against the felled tree, pulling it off. And while his back is turned to you, you hear him call, Sheli Shavniati Fradir. And do either of you speak Druidic or or Primordial?
No.
Okay. Then that is what you hear.
What did he say?
I have.
Bjart, what did he say?
I don't know.
What did you say? Just shout at him.
His head turns to vaguely be looking at you for the first time since you entered the camp.
Speak common. Or not at all.
You notice, by the way, that since you entered the camp, Fellis, the husky dog, has been like sat on her hind legs, and her tail's wagging like excessively, but she seems to be like patiently sitting, waiting for some sort of cue or something. He puts the spear that he was reaching for back against the tree and turns around so he's completely facing you, and sort of does a slight head nod, and looking down, he just goes, Itinak Shikshek.
Yeah, I'll just put a hand over on my brother's shoulder. Calm down.
Can you speak the language? Can you speak any language that we could actually understand?
I apologize for my brother's
Can you?
impatience.
Staring down at him.
He starts walking
Fed up with
towards
his
you.
shit. Yeah. I don't have my swords drawn or anything, and I'm probably much shorter than him, but I'm just looking at him with just so much anger.
Yeah, if, I would reach over and like try to like shake you on the shoulder a bit, trying to get your attention.
Bjart seems to just be standing by the edge of the clearing, sort of watching, seeing what you guys will do.
I don't think he's toying. It's just
He's insulting
let's see
us.
I don't think he's insulting us. Just give it a moment.
Oh, I think he is.
He walks towards you guys, and as he gets halfway, pulls the fur off of the spit atop the fire and like wraps it around his shoulders, and heads over towards you. And what is your most noticeable weapons, the two of you?
My quarterstaff.
I'm not hiding them, but they are on the back of my belt. I don't know if he'd see them immediately, but I have 2 scimitars, and then I've got
have a very high
passive
wisdom.
perception. Okay, he definitely sees them then. Like they're not concealed.
Okay.
And then my longbow is very obvious.
Okay, so you have 2 daggers.
I have 4 daggers that are actually
two
secreted.
scimitars.
I have 2 scimitars that he could definitely see. I have 4 daggers that I have secreted about my body that he could probably see if he looked hard enough.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he walks towards you, and his head tilts as he's about just a few feet away. And then he looks at you, points at one of your scimitars, and then turns a hand over as if he's asking you to hand it to him.
Draw the scimitar and very quickly I'll very quickly bring it to a point that's like right in front of him. You'd best not be toying with us. And I'm going to flip the blade in one hand so that the handle's toward him.
Mm-hmm. He grabs it from you and goes and sits down at the other end of the camp. Starts sharpening it with a whetstone. Solishik Shnatnat.
This is hopeless.
Yeah, if I walk over and just to see what he's doing, does it look like he's doing everything properly as far as maintaining a weapon?
Yeah, you don't need to make a check for this. You've worked in these sorts of conditions before and seen people do that sort of thing. It looks different to how you would do it, but he does seem to be doing everything very, very meticulously, very carefully, and has definite intent and is doing it correctly.
Okay. Oh, I take it you have experience maintaining yourself out here. Your arms and armor.
He just looks at you and keeps sharpening.
Yeah, I look over towards Bjart. How do we... Can he understand us?
What's his problem?
He was born of the wilds. He doesn't speak any civil tongue.
Shit! Just echoes.
How did the alchemist communicate with...
You don't need to speak with him. Just listen.
All right. Should I tell him why we're here?
Hand signals will probably be better for you.
Right. Then I have to take a moment to think about what hexos are appropriate.
He hands the blade back to you, Ref, and I'm just finding the exact, because I've got his character sheet separate from his handout. When he hands it back to you, you notice the edge looks slightly more keen. And if you tried to do that, like flipping it by the hand thing, you might notice that if the blade ever like presses even like horizontally against your thumb, you notice that like there's a bit of skin that it just cuts through.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
he's used his 2 for the wolf ability. Any weapon that deals piercing or slashing damage, if he spends 10 minutes sharpening it, gains a +1 to attack or damage, and the vicious property for 24 hours.
Nice.
Ha! Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, you notice it. You notice it's markedly keener.
Starting to feel inadequate.
And he goes and starts basically these strips of meat that he's had laid out. He goes and puts them over the spit, hangs them over. You notice, oddly, he has more than probably he would need or even be able to prepare for eating later by himself, almost as if he was expecting people to come.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take out my spellbook and approach him. And if he's sitting down, I'll sit next to him. But I'll just get to him and say, we came here, and I'll just slowly. Actually, yeah, I'll just point over to the spit where the fire was, and say, we are looking for, and then I'll gesture towards the spit, and I'll just make the fire kind of twirl up around the cooking apparatus and come back down.
Nice.
Magic, and just kind of opening and flipping through the spellbook.
He nods, like understanding.
And then I'll just pull out. Do I have any bottles on me, or like small containers? Yeah, I'll just pull out like a small bottle and say, the alchemist woman asked you to look for magic.
He like puts his hand to the ground and like pushes past the snow, and you see him like wipe some mud on his cheeks.
Yeah, I nod.
Yeah, he nods back.
What is going on?
Where did you find the magic?
This is so silly.
He reaches around on the ground and pulls out a series of stones, placing them around in a vague circle-like pattern, and then points at the center.
Which direction?
Hits his chest and then like does like a walking motion.
In any direction in particular, or just making the motion?
Just the motion.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll just start walking, and I'll just begin to point in different directions.
He just holds up a hand saying that seems to be like stop.
Mm.
And then he just points towards the fire where you see the meat is still cooking.
Oh. Okay, I'll go sit down by the fire.
Cool.
Think he wants us to join him for a meal. I'm not going to say no.
It's a complete and utter waste of time.
And then, how long have we been walking?
At this point, maybe 3 hours-ish, so it's probably getting to, if there was clocks, it'd be like 6:30 in the evening.
Okay, it's pretty late.
Mm-hmm. The sun's still up reasonably, it's not super dark yet, but it will be getting dark by the time you get there.
Okay.
So you guys could probably choose to rest here, or... It's not the safest place, but it's probably safer than most other places in the woods.
Yeah, it's like if we were going to rest outside of the town, here's probably better than somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time we get where we're going, it's going to be dark. Everyone keeps telling us how dangerous it is, and, well, after what we've seen, I don't really want to test the waters.
Whatever. Let's just eat then. A meal that's not half burned out will probably do me well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you all, including Bjart, get these like strips of pretty decently prepared meats. Not like anything fancy season-wise or anything, but it's just like a nice cut of the animal. Looks like he chose a very prime bit of the beast, whatever it is. Doesn't seem to be anything you're familiar with, like sheep or anything. But he goes over and he also like hands a bit to the little husky and like sort of like scruffs her neck, and then after that point she's like got up and starts running around the camp a bit more. A bit more excited and a bit more happy with the whole ordeal.
Nice.
And yeah, if you guys decide to rest and indicate this to him.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, cool. He pulls out a small pouch from his side, from around this sort of fur, almost kilt thing that he has going on. Pulls out a small pouch and begins walking around the edge of the glade, spreading the ash from within the pouch across the floor, and sits in the center with his sort of legs crossed in front of the fire and begins humming this sort of tune. And as he does, out of the ash, you see before you, almost like trees, these small saplings begin to rise, and it looks as if you wanted to leave, there's like a wall of trees blocking you from leaving.
Interesting. Just kind of look over. I think it's going to be safer here than anywhere else.
I think this could all be some great ploy, but only time will tell.
Unless the entire town's out to kill us, I don't think that's the case.
Just
The wild
takes-
man's been around for a few years. He's trustworthy enough.
Not long enough for me.
Bjarn nods.
Either way, I think it would be best if we get some sleep.
Certain.
I imagine he'll show us the way in the morning.
Then wait till then.
Sure. That's what it takes.
Yeah, and I kind of just mentally send out my bird to just keep watch, wake me up if something happens during the night.
Cool. And you guys get a long rest, then, if you're cool.
I am not going to sleep until the wild man obviously is asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The wild man,
Like
the
to
wild
watch
man
him.
curls up, sort of back facing towards you.
Mhm.
But you still every time you're around some sort of threat or someone dangerous or something dangerous, you get this sort of like hair on the back of your neck feeling
Mhm.
where you're prepared at any time to jump.
Yeah. It's
Some-
accurate.
And
Be right back.
despite the man seeming lie down and about to, well, by all accounts, being asleep, that feeling doesn't seem to go away.
Okay. Interesting. I know what you're
You
saying.
don't really like settle down.
I know what you're saying, yeah. Like my sort of warrior instinct never shuts down around this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case,
I think it's possible he might be one of those like weirdos who, if like you like threw a stick at him in his sleep, he'd like catch it and then like turn around, waking up.
God damn. I think I'll watch him then for like him curled up. I think I'll watch him for about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I still have that feeling, I'll go to sleep, but I'll make sure I'm the closest one to him
Yeah.
when we
We
sleep.
get this shot of like you like everyone else asleep and the sky darkening and you just like staring at him, like hand over like your chin. And then you eventually nodding off as well. In the sort of warmth and comfort of the sort of glade.
Yeah.
And you guys will wake up in the morning. Feeling
Nice.
like P. Diddy.
I like waking up in the morning.
I don't like feeling like P. Diddy, so it's a 50-50. Jonathan, in the morning, I would like you to have your hawk roll perception. So
Okay. That's I think he gets a +3.
it gets advantage on it because it relies on sight, but it's just it's a +2.
Oh, +2, got it.
Mhm.
20.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a +4 for perception.
Okay.
The hawk is in your player companions section
Oh, cool.
in the roll 20.
Then
You
I
should.
will go.
Oh no, I haven't given you access to it. I will give you access to it now.
Please give me bird.
Please, bird. Thank. There you go.
Huzzah. Okay. Perception +4.
Mhm.
Cool.
Nice.
Nope.
No, he didn't do well.
Nice. So 9 plus 4. That's a 13.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep. Your hawk reports nothing of significance to you
Okay.
when you awaken in the morning. Cool.
Yep.
So you guys wake up. And when you do, I think probably the first one to wake up is Ref, who sort of like jolts up from his sleep, like looking around, like, I didn't mean to go to sleep.
Yeah, I want to like immediately want to just check on the wild man, see if he's moved since.
Yeah,
since
you
the last time.
look over at where he was sleeping, and he's not there. And then you like look up and around, and you see that he seems to be like stripping some twigs off of one of the trees at the side of the camp, like off the trunk, just like breaking them off at the at where they join. Just making I would call it a faggot, but that's
It's
not
a
a
bundle
word
of
we can
sticks.
use
It's-
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it works. Whatever. I know we know what it means. Yeah. Yeah, I'll gather my things together. Just, like, make sure he hasn't done anything. Ref's very suspicious of this guy. Just because if someone he can't understand is someone who's very liable to just screw him because they don't have any real interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's his
Yeah,
thing.
because you're so charismatic otherwise. When they can't understand you, really,
Exactly.
you know, it's way better to convince them to like you, 100%.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand.
Hmm.
Cool. So, what do you guys plan to do in the morning? You noticed that although you didn't hear anything in the night, you didn't see anything, the trees that had sprouted when you wake up are just not there.
Okay. Yeah, is there like food when we wake up, or is he cooking anything?
He doesn't seem to be.
Okay, yeah, in that case, after
So
like
you guys want breakfast? You have an owl, I guess.
we do have an owl.
What are you talking about? I don't have an owl. I take the owl out and continue ripping off the last few feathers and just, like, eat the bits that have already been cooked. And that's all I do.
Sure.
Yeah, you just sit there
Yeah.
like with this owl like rotating it and just like taking bites here and there.
It's like a corn on the cob where about half of the cob has
It's like
become
when something's
rotted.
been microwaved and you take a bite into it and like half of it is like too
Frozen.
cold and disgusting.
Yeah.
The other part is like actually like kind of okay cooked and none of it is like ideal.
Yeah, precisely. It's perfect.
Nice.
The perfect meal for Ref.
Then yeah, after like 15 or 20 minutes, if no one is doing anything apparent but everyone's up, I would approach the wild man.
The only thing Bjart will do that's substantial is after he wakes up, pull out some scraps and hand them to Fellas.
When do we leave?
Sheriff Shakta just points a spear in a direction. And then like prods you in the chest.
I think we're supposed to go that way.
How does he know where we're going?
He's been there before, or that's what the alchemist said. And when I say alchemist, I just would reach down, maybe get a bit of dirt, just do the same thing he did earlier. Just so that he kind of understands what I'm saying.
We are making a lot of logical leaps here. Trusting this man to understand something he has no right understanding.
Well, I mean, you were the one that said we should figure out where it is, and this is our only lead so far.
I don't like it, is all I'm saying.
I hear you.
Carry on then.
Yeah, and we'll like gesture in the direction that he pointed us.
Okay. As soon as you guys like look like you're basically like you stand up, like start brushing yourself off, grab your stuff, like sling it over your shoulder. The wild man just with his spear starts using it similarly to your walking staff, just starts heading off into the sort of snow encrusted woods in that direction.
Yeah, and I will follow.
And that's where we'll take a break.
Nice.